Hey guys, and welcome to another First Impressions video, the video game series in which we look at a recently released game and I give you my first thoughts and impressions on it. Today we're looking at West Hunt, which is an online multiplayer game that has a very interesting concept, however I feel has been executed rather poorly. As always, we'll go through the options and then we'll jump straight into the game and see what it's all about. I have a few problems with this game, but again, I really like the concept. So let's jump into it and see what we can do. Alright, settings. So this is where I really have my first issue, and it's an issue that sort of carries on throughout the entire game, in that the menus and the end screens and stuff are synonymous with the gameplay instead of being made separate. What I mean by this is that we've got two options here, and as I scroll down you'll see that they both scroll. So like, you're left with two options. You can either do all the ones on the screen here and change them how you want and then scroll down and do both and both, or scroll down to the bottom even though there's all this dead space and not enough options there, and then have to scroll all the way back to the top, which it's not ideal. I don't know why they've done like this, especially when they could easily have fit this down here and made the menu just more compact in general. It seems like a really weird design choice. And again, the fact that they haven't got separate scrolling bars, so I could have one on this side and one on this side and scroll them independently, makes no sense to me. The actual graphics options you get aren't great either. The game is not exactly high graphic fidelity, but even then it would be nice if they had some more options. You do get to see your FPS level, which seems to be capped at 60, and you get to change your quality, and that's really it. Volume does start at max volume, so you are probably going to want to change that as well, and controls make literally no sense either. Also, it does appear to have a sort of little bit of gamepad connectivity, but not a huge amount. Like, it doesn't seem to do anything outside of moving, and we'll get to the movement when we get in the game, but I'm really not a fan of that either. So there you go, there's the options. It's okay, but this design choice, it irritates me. Let's look at the gameplay. Okay, so we are currently loaded into a game. Now the good thing is, even though this is a multiplayer game and it's an indie title, there are people playing, which is good. We need that with games like this, because otherwise the game is dead on arrival, because there's no single player mode outside of the tutorial. Outside of that, you are either going to be the sheriff or you are going to be the outlaw. I am currently the outlaw. As you can see, you get a number of missions on your right hand side that you have to complete. If you complete them, then you win and you get money and rewards and all that other good stuff. They do light them up here, and the idea is that you basically have to go through, complete these missions without the sheriff, seeing you and shooting you. If the sheriff sees you and shoots you, you lose. Now, the biggest problem I've got with this game is that it is just 1v1 or 2v2, and honestly the AI doesn't really do anything but walk around, so it's going to be very, very easy to spot you when you're doing stuff and things, right? Because the AI doesn't partake in these activities either. It's not a very good sort of distraction, because they don't do the things that you have to do, right? The other problem I've got with this is the movement itself. The movement is very, very basic, and yet you can look around with your mouse, which can sort of mess it up a bit, because again, it's not synonymous. It doesn't really make sense, right? So you've got to turn with A and D and then walk with W, but you can look around with your mouse, and I kind of wish they'd just made it W to walk and look and move with your mouse at the same time. But again, I love the concept. I love the fact that you've got to try and sort of dodge in and out and do some stuff and things in order to get points and complete your mission and sort of get away with it and not get spotted. But as you can see, the sheriff's on me. The sheriff clearly doesn't trust me at all. And I'm going to die because it's very, very obvious who the outlaw is. It's almost too obvious who the outlaw is because the AI doesn't partake in this. The AI doesn't do stuff that you do, and they work in a very sort of particular way. And then finally, this mission here, or the mission end, is the problem I've got, because again, just like with the options, as you can see in the background, the camera's moving all the way over as I'm moving the mouse because the option isn't separate from the game. So yeah, it's a really nice concept. I really like the concept, but I feel the execution has let it down. The menu needs fixing and making a bit better, and they need to work on the movement and the controls, and preferably make the AI a bit more concealing to make it a bit more difficult. But there you go. That is West Hunt. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you all next time. Ciao, ciao.